All right. So today, let us start with a basic concept called operators. So far, we have seen variables, how we can declare or define the variables in TypeScript. And also we have seen the different type of data types. Now we need to do certain operations between the variables. So for that, we go for operators. Okay, so these three are important. So variables, data types, and then operators. So today we'll focus on operators. So what is an operator and how many types of operators TypeScript is supported, and we'll see some different examples. So let me go to VS Code editor and create a new folder under our project. So for today, I'm going to create a new folder, and okay, you need to select the main project, and inside this, create a new folder as a day 4. So under this folder, I'm going to create a new TypeScript file. I call it as a operators demo.ts. Okay. So how many kinds of operators supported in TypeScript? So just like other programming languages like Java and Python, the same kind of operators are supported in TypeScript also. We have like arithmetic operators, assignment operators, logical, relational, ternary operators. All operators are exactly similar. And whatever operators are there, Java and Python or any other programming languages, same kind of operators are supported by TypeScript also. So let us see a few examples. So first, before using operators, let us create a few variables. First thing, let's say how we can declare the variable in TypeScript. So using let keyword. So let a, and which is a number, equal to 10. So this is one variable I defined. The next one is let b number, and which is 20. So I declared the two variables, and which is basically called declaration and assignment. So declaration, assignment I'm doing in the same in two different variables. Okay. So sometimes, suppose if you have to define multiple variables, there's a 5 or 10 variables. Instead of writing multiple statements like this, you can simply write on one single statement. Okay. So single statement we can simply write. So what we can do is, if you want to write a single statement, you can say remove the semicolon, say comma, and don't use let keyword again. So simply write like this, single statement. So two variables are defined in single statement. So if you have a multiple variables to define, you can simply write in single statement. So these data types can be different also. It can be a number, or the second thing will be string, or third thing will be Boolean, something like this. So you can have a different data types also. We can define one using one single let keyword. So we can use one single let, and you can just define all the variables one after another by separating comma. This is simple shortcut. Okay. Now, so let us start with the first kind of operators, arithmetic operators. So very simple. We just use it for performing arithmetic operations. So what are the arithmetic operations? We have a addition, minus, subtraction, multiplication, division, modular division, and exponential. So these are the operators comes under the arithmetic operators. Okay. All right. So first, let us see how we can use arithmetic operators. So I'm just directly using console.log, and here I say a plus b. Plus is an arithmetic operator. So obviously this will add two numbers, 10 plus 20, and return 30. Similarly, I'll try to use same different operators in the same variables. And one is plus, plus is for addition. Minus, minus is for subtraction. So I say b minus a. B is 20, A is 10, 20 minus 10, it will return 10. And similarly, A star is representing multiplication, and slash is representing division, percentile is representing modular division, and then we have another operator here, which is star star. Star star in the sense is the exponential value. So 10 to the power of 20 will become more. So I'll just take a simple number. Let's say 5 star star 2. So when I say single star, which is multiplication, when I say multiple star, which is exponential, it will calculate 5 square. 5 5s are 25 will be returned. So these are the arithmetic operators: addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, division, modular division, and exponential. So what is the difference between this division and modular division? So the division operator will return the quotient value, and the percentile operator will return the remainder value. So that is the difference between slash and modular division. Division and modular division. So any programming language that the same operators are there, and it will work in the similar way. So for example, let's say slash. So slash is something like, suppose if you divided 20 by 10, 10 twos are 20, 0. So when I say slash operator or division operator, that will return the quotient value. So 2 will be returned. This will return 2. When I use percentile operator, that will return the remainder. So this will return 0. This will return 0. Okay, that is the difference. Division and modular division. So 5 square in the sense exponential. Star representing exponential, it will calculate 5 square. 5 5s are 25. So that means 5 into 5. 2 times. So 25 will be return 25. So these are the basic arithmetic operators which we have in TypeScript. Simple and straightforward. So let's go and execute them. So go to terminal. So how we can execute the TypeScript code using tsx command. Open the terminal and use tsc and space, and which folder we created the file inside the day4 slash, and what is the name of the file? Operators demo.ts. Operators demo.ts. Okay. So once you run this, the folder name is not correct. Day4. Sorry, tsx. Okay. So now this is an output for us. So this is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and then this is a division, and then modular division, and then exponential value. Okay, so here you need to say b slash a, so then you will get 2 and 0. Okay, so this is a output for it. Very simple, straightforward. We can use arithmetic operators to perform any mathematical operations on the multiple variables. You can use arithmetic operators. Okay, now, so next is assignment operators. Next category, assignment operators. So assignment operator is nothing but simple equal to is an assignment operators. But based on the equal to, we can also define other type of operators, which are also called shorthand operators. So let us see what are other operators we can define by using equal to. Shorthand operators, we can call them as a shorthand operators. Okay, so now let us take the same numbers again, 10, 20, or let us change the values. If we want, can we change the values of these variables? Can we change? Yes, right, because they are not constant. If you create this variable as a const, we cannot change. But when you create these variables with a let, we can change the values. We can reassign the values into variables, obviously, right? So let me reassign the new values. I'll say a100, and then semicolon is optional. Okay, in JavaScript and TypeScript, after end of the statement, you can put semicolon or you can ignore. So a equal to 100 and say b equal to 50. So I have just reassigned the values into the same variable instead of again redefining them. And redefining is possible or not? Can we declare this a again with the let keyword one more time like this? No. Okay, redeclaration is not possible, but reassignment is possible. Okay, redeclaration means again we can define the let and data type. So once you decide the data type with this keyword let, we no need to specify multiple times. Just we can reassign the data into variables. Okay. All right. So now let us see how we can use, sorry, this is assignment operators. Let's see how we can use assignment operators. So normally, when I say, let me take a small numbers. So 10 and 20, or I said 10 and this is 5. Okay. All right. So normally if I want to write an expression like this, let's say a equal to a plus b. I have written statement like this. So what does it mean of this expression? So what is an actually a plus b will do? A plus b becomes 15. So here what is the current value of a? Here the current value of a is 10 actually. Right? What will happen here? A equal to a plus b means a value 10, b value 5. So 10 plus 5, 15. That 15 will be as reassigned to the a. It will be reassigned to the a. So the old value will be replaced with the new value. So this is an expression, right? A equal to a plus b. So we are adding a plus b and again storing the result into the same variable called a. This is simple expression. We can write like this. Right? If I just print this console.log a equal to a plus b, right? So you can just print the only a value after doing a equal to a plus b, or you can just directly put inside the console.log also. You can say console.log of a. Now, what is the current value of a after completion of this operation? It becomes 15. Obviously, right? It becomes a 15. So this is an output. 15 is an output. So same expression, we can also write like this. I say a plus equal to b. This is a shortcut. So here I'm using just a plus equal to. This is also an assignment operator. So a plus equal to b shortcut. Instead of writing a multiple times, you can simply write the variables only one time. Say a plus equal to b. So this will also do the same thing. When I execute this code, so again, you will get the same output called 15. So instead of a equal to a plus b, you can simply say a plus equal to b. And suppose if you want to write this expression as a separate line, you can directly write this inside the console.log also. So if you want to write the expression directly in the console.log, you can simply say a plus equal to b. So you can just write this expression directly inside the console.log. So that will also return the same thing, 15. Okay, this is called shortcut. Instead of writing this whole expression, we can simply write like this. Similarly, we can also write all other operators. Let me write a plus b equal to b. Similarly, a minus b, which is exactly equal to, so this is equal to a plus b, and this is exactly equal to a minus b. So instead of writing a equal to a minus b, you can simply write in shortcut a minus equal to b. Similarly, a star equal to b. So this is exactly equal to what? A equal to a star b. And this is a slash equal to b. This is again division. This is again equal to a slash b. And this is modulo division, percentile. So this is exactly equal to a percentile b. Okay, so exponential we don't have because this is just a operator assignment. So this is all shorthand operators, or these are all comes under assignment also. What we are doing here, simply instead of writing the complete expression, we can just do shortcuts: plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to, slash equal to, and modulo division equal to. So these are the relational assignment operators. So let me write a simple statement to differentiate them. Console.log, and here I'm writing simple arithmetic operators, and here these are all assignment operators. Okay, so let's go and execute once again. Yes. So you can just look at the results. So these are the outputs. So this is a equal to a plus b. So a become 15. So a equal to a minus b. A value 20, b value 5. So sorry, a value 10, b value 5. 10 minus 5. So again, it is returning 5. So what it is? This is a 1. So a minus equal to b. So a value is a 10, b value is 5. So 10 minus 5, it should return 5, but it is returning 10. Why? Because a value is already updated here. So here, what is an a value? In this case, 15, right? So currently a value is 15. So in the second statement, A will be treated as 15. Okay, A will be treated as 15. So 15 minus 5. 15 minus 5, 10. So this is returned 10. This is returned 10. So now currently A value is again becomes 10. Now here, A value 10, B value 5. 10 into 5. It should return 50. So this is 50. Okay, so now the A value is what? The current value A value is what? 50. So now 50 divided by B, 50 divided by 5, which is 10 is returned. 10 is an output. So now the again current value of A becomes 10. Now again 10 percentile equal to B. This should return 0 as a remainder because the modular division operator, so it should return 0. Okay, so this is how we can use shorthand operators or assignment operators. Plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to. You can also write expression like this, nothing wrong in that. But instead of writing this expression by using multiple variable names, instead of defining variables multiple times, you can simply use shorthand operators like this. So these are all assignment operators, and same operators are there in Java also. No change, no difference. Okay. Now come to the relational operators. Relational operators. So what exactly the relational operators will do? Relational operators will compare the values. So the relational operators always returns a Boolean value. Relational operators always returns a Boolean value. Remember this, very important. Okay, Boolean value. A Boolean is nothing but what? Either it can be true or it can be false. Relational operators always returns either true or false. Basically, it will compare the values of the variables. So relational operators returns true or false, which is Boolean value. Okay. Now let me take two variables. Again, I'm redefining the values or reassigning the values. Let's say console.log relational operators. I'm just printing this message in the console window just to differentiate them. Okay, so now again reassign the values into A and B. Let's say A value 10, B value, let's say 20. So I no need to specify let keyword every time because we already declared A and B here at the beginning itself. I'm just keep on changing the values of the variables. So redeclaration is not allowed, but reassignment is allowed. Okay, so now I have two variables, A10, B20. So how we can use relational operators? So what are the relational operators which we have? So relational operators we have like greater than and less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and double equal to. Double equal to will compare the values. Double equal to is also comparison operators. And not equal to, double equal to and not equal to. And in the TypeScript and JavaScript, there is another operator, special operator, which is provided, especially only JavaScript and TypeScript. In other programming languages, we don't have it, which is called strict equal to. Three equal tos we have to use. Three equal tos. Okay, this is called strict equal to. Okay, so this is a relational operator provided in relational. So greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, double equal to, not equal to, and then strict equal to. This is called strict equality. Strict equality. Okay, there is a difference between double equal to and strict equality. I'll show you the example. Okay, so two variables I have defined, A10, B20. Now let us see the relational operators, how we can use. So as I said, relational operators returns only true or false, only either true or false. So what I'll say is console.log of, I said here A greater than B. Now what is an output of this? A greater than B, true or false? A10, B20, 10 greater than 20, false. So obviously it should return false. And similarly, I say console.log A less than B, less than. So obviously 10 less than 20 is true. So this will return true. Similarly, console.log, I said A less than or equal to B, true or false. So here it will verify the two things actually. First, whether A is less than B or not will verify it. Suppose if A is not less than B, then it will verify the second one. Either A should be less than B or A should be equal to B. One of them should be true. Either A less than B, the expression will return true. Or if A is not less than B, at least A should be equal to B. In that case also returns true. Okay. So now what this expression will return, A less than or equal to B, equal to is not matched. A is not equal to B, but still A is less than B. So obviously it should return true. Okay. And similarly, A greater than or equal to B. Greater than or equal to B. True or false? A is 10, B is 20. So 10 greater than B, false. And 10 equal to B is also false. So obviously it should return false. Greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and equal to console.log A equal to B. So single equal to is an assignment operator. Double equal to is a comparison operator. So relational operator is also called as comparison operators. Relational or comparison operators. Relational or comparison operators. Okay. So this will return again false. And one more expression. Let's say A not equal to B. Return true or false? Not is nothing but it's an exclamatory mark. A not equal to B. True or false? Obviously it should be true because they are not equal. So it is true. Okay. These are all relational operators. Strict equal to, I'll show you an example. So let us execute this code till now. So when I execute it, false, true, true, false, false, true. So this is an output of this. So what exactly the relational or comparison operators will do? It will compare the values. After comparison, it will return true or false. After comparison, it will return true or false. So that's how we can use relational operators. Now come to the strict equality. This is important interview question also. What is the difference between double equal to and triple equal to? Let us try to understand the difference between double equal to and triple equal to, how exactly triple equal to works. Difference between double equal to is nothing but check the equality of the values, and triple equal to is a strict equality. It's called as a strict equality. And double equal to will check the equivalence of the values. It is simply equality. And triple equal to is a strict equality. Now let us understand the difference with some example. I'll define two different variables. Let's say let num1, and I define this with a any. Any is nothing but what kind of data we can store? Any type. It can be boolean, it can be string, it can be number, any type of data we can store. So here I'm just adding a number. Okay, so now num1 is what type of data it is? It is a number type of data. Okay, because I stored the 10 is a number. Obviously num1 is becomes the number type. Okay, now I'll define another variable. Let num2, and this is also any type, but inside this I will put a string, but same value, but I put as a string. So this is a string, right? Whatever value we keep inside the double quotes, which will be treated as a string. Now what is the type of this num2? What is the type? It is obviously a string. Okay, now just observe very carefully. So here I'm just typing console.log num1 double equal to num2. Can you guess what is an output of this statement? Num1 double equal to num2. What is an output of this? True or false? So what is the value of num1? 10. What is the value of num2? Which is also 10. Let us see what is an output of this. When I print this, you can see it is returning true. Okay, I'll simply write one console message. Console.log. Okay, so I just printing this output to just separate the output in the console window. What is the difference between equality and strict equality, which we are going to understand in this example? So when I execute this code, you will see the output is true. So we already know this. Because both the values are same, it is returning simply true. Now I'm writing the expression like this: console.log. Instead of single equal to, double equal to, I'll try to use triple equal to. I say number one, triple equal to number 2. Can you guess what is an output you will get here? It should be return false. Should return false. So what we have observed here? What is the difference we observed? When I use double equal to, basically it is comparing the values. It compares only values. Remember this, okay? So double equal to return true. What happened here? It only compares values. So num1 value is a 10, num2 value is also 10. So it is returning true. But what about strict equality? In the strict equality, it will compare the values along with the types. It will compare the values along with the data type. That is a major difference. Compares the values and type, both. So if I look at here, number 1 is 10, number 2 is a 10. So 10 and 10 equal. Okay, values are compared. And what is the type of num1? What is the type of num1? It is a number. What is the type of num2? It is a string. So both are not same. So obviously, when I comparing the types, it is got failed. So it is returning false. So that is a major difference between double equal to triple equal to. So even in JavaScript also we have this operator. So when I say double equal to, it compares only values. It doesn't care about the data types. But when I use double equal to, it will compare the values along with the data type of the variables. So that is a major difference between equal to and triple equal to. Equality and strict equality. Okay. So these are all comes under relational or comparison operators. Comes under relational comparison. So all these operators will return a Boolean value which is true or false. Now let us see another type of operators. Logical operators. Logical operators. So logical operators, we have only 3 operators: and, or, not. And or not. So this is and, this is or, this is not. So when to use logical operators and where to use logical operators? Logical operators we can use between Boolean variables. So this logical operators works only between the Boolean variables, not an integer variables or number variables. We need to have a Boolean variables. Again, just like a relational operators, logical operators also will return true or false. Returns either true or false. A Boolean value will be returned and works between Boolean variables. Only Boolean variables are allowed. Only Boolean variables are allowed. And or not. Okay. So let us see the behavior of and or not. So let me take multiple values and just try to explain this. So let us say I have multiple numbers. Okay, let's say B1, I'm taking a Boolean variable, and B2 is another Boolean variable. Let's say B1 and B2, and AND operator, OR operator, NOT operator. So I'm taking 3 different operators. Okay. Now B1 is a true and B2 is also true. And what AND operator will return? What is an AND operator will return if both the values are true? Obviously, it should return true. And again, B1 is true and B2 is false. B1 is false, B2 is true. and B1 is false and B2 is also false. Now let us understand how exactly AND operator works. So AND operator will return true only if both the values are true. So AND is nothing but B1 and B2 both should be true, then only it will return true. In all other cases, it should return false. Even one variable value is false, obviously the ultimate expression value should return false. So this is the behavior of AND operator. AND is verified two things, the first one and second one also. If both are true, then only it will return true. In all other cases, it will return false. So that is the behavior of AND operator. Now, what is the behavior of OR operator? OR is nothing but what? Either B1 or B2. At least one should be true. Then final expression output will be true. For example, let's say true and true. So one of them is true. Obviously, OR operator also will return true. If I look at the second one, B1 is true, B2 is false. So one of them is true. In these two values, one of them is true. So obviously, OR operator will return true. Either B1 should be true or B2 should be true. In that case, it will return true. Even a third scenario, B1 is false, but B2 is a true. So in this case also, it returns true. But in this last case, both are false. So only in this particular case, it will return false. So this is the behavior of OR operator. OR is nothing but either B1 or B2. At least one should be true, then returns true. And if both are false, and then only it will return false. So this is the behavior of OR operator. Not is a negation. Means what? Suppose B1 is true. Obviously, not of B1. So I'm just defining variable B1. So B1 value is true. Obviously, not B1 value should become false. Opposite exactly. And here again, B1 value false. Obviously, not B1 should becomes true. Okay, so this is a negation, opposite, not operator. So these are all logical operators, AND or not. Especially we use these operators in conditional statements and even loops also. Most of the times we use these operators, especially when you compare the condition or when you're checking the conditions. Relational operators and logical operators, especially we use it in looping statements and conditional statement. Okay, now let us see the examples, how we can use them. So as I said beginning, the logical operators works only on the Boolean variables. Only on the Boolean variables. Okay, so what I'll do is I will define a few Boolean variables. Okay, so what I'll do is I can just print a message console.log logical operators. Okay. Now let us try to use them. So we need two Boolean variables to demonstrate logical operators. So let me create two new variables. So when I create a new variables, we have to use a let B1. And what is the type of this B1? It should be a Boolean type. Boolean, and assign some value called true. Let B2 a Boolean, and I'll assign value called false, true or false. So I have two Boolean variables. So now you tell me the output. So I'll say console.log B1 and B2. So what is an output of this expression statement? What is an output of this expression or statement? So B1 and you have used AND operator. AND will return true only if both are true. In all other cases, return false. So in this context, B1 is a true, but B2 is false. So obviously it should return false. Okay. Now, similarly, let's say console.log B1 or B2. Now, what is an output of this expression? B1, B2. So when B1, B2, so in B1, B2, at least one of the values should be true, then only it will return true. In all other cases, return false. That means when I return false, only both are false. In all other cases, returns true. So here B1 is a true, obviously. Even though B2 is false, still B1 is a true. So this should return true. Okay. Now console.log not B1. Not. What is a B1? True. Not in the sense false. So this should return false. Opposite or negation. Console.log of not B2. Not B2. B2 is false. So this should return true. Okay. So let me execute this. False, true, false, true. So this is an output of the logical operators. Okay. So remember, logical operators works between two Boolean variables. It will always returns a true or false. That is a Boolean value. Now, sometimes we can also use these logical operators with the combination of relational operators. We can also use these logical operators with the combination of relational operators. What are the relational operators? Double equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. These are all relational operators. So how it is possible? So let me show you some expressions and you guys can guess what is the output. The combination of logical and relational operators. Okay, so I say console.log. So mixing of logical and relational operators. All right, so I'll write a few expressions here, then you guys can observe it. So I say console.log of, and here I'll put one simple expression. Let's say 20.10. Can you guess what is an output of this simple expression? Greater than is a relational operator. 20 greater than 10, true or false? Obviously, it should return true. Okay, this is true. Now, along with this, I'm using logical operator AND. Then I will use another expression called 10 greater than 5. See, the first expression 20 greater than 10 returns true, and 10 greater than 5 is also returned true. So this is a true and this is also true. In between, I'm using logical operator. Can we use like this? Can we use logical operator between two Boolean variables? Yes. Even though we have not defined the variables, still this expression is returning Boolean value. Again, the second expression is also written a Boolean value. So can we use this logical operator between two Boolean values? Yes, exactly we can use. Now, what is an output of this expression? The first expression returns true. Second expression is also returns true. If both are returns true, and operator will obviously returns true. So this is a output. So we can use the combination of relational and logical operators. Okay, so now you can see true is got returned. Now another expression, console.log 10 less than 20, true or false? False. False or true or false? It is true. 10 less than 20, true or false? It is true. Or operator, 5 greater than 10. 5 greater than 10. Now the first expression return false, but second expression returns true. And I'm using OR operator. Now what is an output of it? First one is true. So first one is true. The second one is false. Even though it's a true or false, at least one should be true when I use OR operator. So obviously it returns true. Actually, these type of conditionals we will use in conditional statements and looping statements with the combination of relational and logical operators. Okay, now we can see both are returns true. Right. So these are all some basic operators provided in TypeScript. So we have arithmetic operators, assignment operators or shorthand or shortcut operators, relational or comparison operators, and then equality and strict equality. Strict equality is specific to JavaScript and TypeScript. We don't have this operator in any other programming languages. And then logical operators. So apart from this, there are some additional operators which we have. So let me try to demonstrate this. So increment and decrement operators. We have something called increment and decrement operators. So I'll close this file and let's create another file. I think I have run through TSC, so it is created JavaScript file also. See, let me delete this. Okay, now let us create a new file and I'll name it as increment and decrement operators. Increment and decrement operators dot ts. Increment and decrement operators. So and these operators are there in Java and Python also. So what is an increment operator? Plus plus is an increment operator. What is a decrement operator? Minus minus is a decrement operator. Plus plus is an increment operator. Minus minus is a decrement operator. Again, in the increment operator, we have a pre-increment and post-increment. Even in the decrement, we have a pre-decrement and post-decrement. Okay, so let's see some example. What exactly these operators will do, increment and decrement operators. So first, let me take a variable called let x, some variable, and which is a number, and I'll assign 10. X value is 10. When I say x plus plus, simply I say x plus plus. What does that mean? Or you can simply say x equal to x plus 1. And after that, I will try to print x value. Console.log x value. So what is the value of x now? What is an output of value of x? Obviously, it should return 11. Why? Because here x value is already 10. 10 plus 1, 11. That 11 will be reassigned to the x and we got x here. So the same expression we can still write like this. X plus plus. Simple. So instead of writing x equal to x plus 1, simply write x plus plus, which will increment x value by 1. Which will increment x value by 1. So x is 10, x plus plus becomes 11. So after that, if you print x value, again, you will get 11. Exactly the same value you will get. Sorry. So the file name is increment and decrement operators. Okay, so now we can return 11 here. So the same expression x equal to x plus 1, instead of doing that, I can simply say x plus plus. And what it is actually, when this is called post increment. This is called post increment. What is the meaning of post increment? In the post increment, first we create a variable. We first specify the variable and then use operator. Specify the variable, then use operator. This is called post increment. Post increment. Okay. And value is what? 11 is written the output. Now, I'll write like this. Minus minus x. Sorry. Plus plus x. This is called pre-increment. So this is called post-increment. This is called pre-increment. So in the post-increment, we use plus plus after the variable. When I say pre-increment, we use plus plus before the variable. So this is called as pre-increment operator. This is also exactly equal to x equal to x plus 1. No difference. Now, when I print the output, simply I'm printing. What is an output you're expecting? So when I use x plus plus post increment, you got 11. When I use pre-increment plus plus x, this is also incrementation. So it is exactly similar. If when I run the code, again you will get the 11. So in this case also it is returning 11. Okay. So x plus 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 x. When I use expression like this, return the same output. So you don't see any difference between post increment and pre-increment. Okay. But why they have introduced 2? Why plus plus and plus plus? So let me show you the difference. So when we can see the difference between these variables, when I assign the output into some other variable, when you assign the output into some other variable. For example, let's say, again, I'm taking post increment, x plus plus. X plus plus in the sense what is an output of this 11, and that value I'm going to store in another variable called result, and this is also number, and I'll define the variable like this. So what I'm doing in this expression, I'm incrementing the value of x. After incrementation, I'm storing the same value, incremented value, in the result variable, and after that I'm trying to just print the value of result. Now tell me, what is an output of this? I have incremented x value here and then stored into another variable, and then I'm printing that variable. If I look at this output, you can see the output is 10 only. It is just written 10 only. It is not returning 11. So what exactly happening here? But x plus plus should increment the value, right? After incrementation, it should store into the variable, then we should get 11. But why it is still returning 10 itself, default value? So how exactly this expression works? So we need to understand this. So when I write x plus plus post incrementation, first, how exactly this expression will execute? The value will be stored into the variable. After that, incrementation will happen. So before incrementation, the value will be assigned to this variable. That is the reason result is still 10. What is the value of x? 10. 10 is assigned to the result. After incrementation, then incrementation is happening. So that is the reason result value is still 10 here. Okay. So first value will be assigned to the variable, and after that incrementation is happened. That is the reason we are getting 10 here. Okay. Now just observe. Suppose if you just try to print only x value. Now what is an output of this? I just print in the x value, not a result. Obviously, it should be 11 because x value is got already incremented. So it is returning 11. Okay. So how exactly it will work? First, the value will be assigned to the variable, so that we got 10. After assignment, incrementation is happened. So when I print the variable, we are getting 10, but when I print the value of the variable, again we will get a 11. The behavior is not changed, but when you store this value in another variable, then you can see the difference. So same thing we will try to apply for pre-incrementation. So what it is a post increment. This is a post increment. So let us repeat the same thing for pre-increment and see how exactly it will work. So let's copy the same thing. And here, instead of using x plus plus, I'll use plus plus x. Now you tell me the output of these two statements. What is an output of result? So here what exactly will happen? So when I say pre-incrementation plus plus x, how exactly it will work? First, it will increment the value, then assign the value. So that is a major difference. Here, first value is assigned to the variable, and after that incrementation is happened. So that's the reason we got 10 here. But in this particular case, first incrementation is happened, then the output will be stored in result. So incrementation is happened in the sense what? X already becomes 11. So the 11 will be stored in the result. Obviously, we will get 11 as an output here. So that is the major difference between pre-increment and post-increment. So now let us see the output. See, both are 11 because already pre-incremented. So after pre-incrementation, the value is assigned to result. So we got here 11. Also here we got 11. Okay, so understood the difference between post-increment and pre-increment. When you can see the difference, when you store the value in some other variable, you can see the difference. Otherwise, if you want to just use expression just alone like this, x plus plus, only plus plus x, no difference. So this is a post increment and pre-increment. Same thing is applicable for decrement also, post decrement and pre-decrement. So let me show you this. post decrement. So when I say, again, I'm taking the same variable x equal to 10. So x minus minus. Now what is an output of this? Console.log x. What is an output of this expression? X initial value is 10. Now I say minus minus, obviously it should return 9. So x minus minus. So it becomes 9. Same thing if I do, this is what is this? This is actually post decrement. Post decrement. Now if I do the same thing for pre decrement. So pre decrement, I say minus minus x. So this is pre decrement. So what is an output here? Again, it should be 9. So no difference. But let us try to store them in another variable and then see the difference. I can say post decrement and pre decrement. So I'll define a variable called let result, which is a number equal to x minus minus post decrement. Post decrement. And now tell me the output of this result. Also tell me the result of this x. So x minus minus post decrement. Post decrement means post decrement in the sense first the x value will assign to this result variable. After assignment, decrementation will happen. So x value assigned to the result already. So what will be the result value? Obviously, it should be 10. And after that, x is decremented. So the x value becomes 9. So this is post decrement. So 10 and 9 is an output. Post decrement. Right. So let's see the same thing for pre decrement. Repeat the same thing for pre decrement. So let result number minus minus x. So now what is an output of this 2? Minus minus x. So before assignment, first it will decrease the value, then assignment will happen. So after decreasing the value, obviously it becomes 9. So 9 is assigned to the result. So result value is 9 and is already reduced to 1. So x value is also becomes 9. So this is a pre-decrement. This is pre-decrement. Okay. So increment and decrement operators. And plus plus operator will increase the value by 1. Minus minus will reduce the value by 1. Reduce the value by 1. Okay. So these are all increment and decrement operators. And even in Java, Python also, we have the same kind of operators. All right. So now we'll discuss one last type of operator, which is a ternary operator, which is also called as conditional operator. So let's create another file, ternary operator.ts. Ternary operator or conditional operator. Ternary or conditional operator. So how we can use and where we can use this. First, the ternary operator, the syntax is like this. The operator symbol is like this, question mark and colon. Operator symbol is question mark and colon. And how we can use this? What is the syntax of using ternary operator? First, we will specify some expression, question mark, specify the result 1, colon result. This is a syntax of using ternary operator. So let us see how exactly it will work. And I'll tell you one example. Example 1. So by using the same expression, we will try to write a syntax. So here I'll create 2 different variables first. I say let A is a number, the value is 100, comma. B is also a number, the value is 200. I'm taking 2 variables. Can we declare the variables like this in single line with one single let keyword? Yes, we can do that. So I have defined the two variables, A and B contains 100 and 200. Okay. Now I'm writing the ternary operator expression. Let result, I'm defining another variable called result. This is also number. Inside this, here I'm writing a ternary operator expression. A greater than B, question mark, A colon B. So this is an expression. Actually, this is actual expression of ternary operator, this part. And compare with the syntax. Expression means what? A condition should be there. A condition. When I say condition, that should be written true or false, not anything else. So it should return always either true or false. Expression is always written true or false. Okay, so if the expression is true, then A value will be assigned to the result. If the expression is false, then B value will be assigned to the result. That's how it will work. So based on the condition, the result will be decided. So if the expression is returned true, then A will be assigned to the result. And if the expression is false, then B will be assigned to the result. Okay, before question mark, this is an expression. And this is output 1 and output 2, or result 1 and result 2. Only 2 we can specify. You cannot specify multiple. So if the expression returns true, A value will be stored in the result. If the expression is false, B value will be stored in the result. This is how we need to write an expression. Now tell me, what is an output of this statement? I'm just printing the value of result. So what is an output? So I say A greater than B, 100 greater than 200, true or false? False. When I say false, B value assigned to the result. So now what is the output of result? B value is assigned, which is 200. So definitely it returns 200. So now execute this. Sorry. So this is ternary operator. Ternary operator.ts. Okay, now you can see 200 is got returned. So let me tell you one more example. So ternary operator will reduce the lot of code. Actually, if you want to write the same thing, you need to write multiple if conditions. If this condition is true and print this, and if the condition is false, and then you need to print, at least you need to write 4 to 5 lines of code. So instead of writing those many lines of code, simply you can write one single expression. I'll tell you one more example. You can understand what is the use of it. As I said, conditional operator. Basically, it will check the condition. Based on the condition, we can decide the output. So in that context, it will be very useful. So now, let me take another example. Let's say example 2. So I define a variable. Let's say person age is a number. And let's say 30. I define a variable called person age. His age is 30. Now I want to check this person is adult or this person is minor. Okay, I want to verify this person is adult person or minor based on the age. So if the person age is greater than or equal to 18, he is an adult, or less than 18, he is a minor. So I want to print the output like that. So through the programming, I want to verify that. So how we can do that? Using ternary operator, we can do that. So now let me put the expression. So what is the condition here? The age, the person age, we need to compare with the greater than or equal to 18. If the person age is equal to greater than or equal to 18, he is an adult or he is a minor. So how we can put this ternary operator? Let's take a variable result string. I'm taking the result variable as a string. Why? Because I just want to print adult or minor. That's it. This is a string value. So I'm taking result variable as a string. Now, how can we write the expression? What's an expression here? Person age greater than or equal to 18. This is an expression. If it is a true, question mark, if it is a true, then what we should return? Adult. Colon. If it is a false, if the expression is false, then we need to return minor. This is how we need to write a ternary operator expression. Okay, now what's an output of this? Console.log of result. As per our value here, 30 is greater than or equal to 18, true or false? true. It is a true. Adult will be stored in the result, and obviously here we will get a adult as an output. So when I execute this, you will see adult. So like this, we can construct n number of programs, n number of problems we can solve by using ternary operator. Especially this is a replacement of if else condition. If you have to verify certain conditions, normally we go for conditional statement if else. To replace it, alternatively, we can use this ternary operator. Okay. So these are all different operators supported in TypeScript. Arithmetic operators, relational or comparison operators, logical operators, and increment decrement operators, ternary operators. So obviously all the other programming languages also we have same kind of operator, but in JavaScript and TypeScript we have only one different operator, which is strict equality. That is only specific to TypeScript and JavaScript. And if anybody asks you during interview what is the difference between double equal to and triple equal to, or equality or strict equality, you should tell the answer. Equality is only for comparing the values. Strict equality is only for comparing the values along with the data type of the variables. Okay. So that is all about operators concept. Just do one round of practice. So not that much important, but these are very basics. Okay. Before going further, so we need to understand some basics. All right. So that's all. Let us stop here. And based on the topic today and yesterday, so yesterday we have discussed about data types and today we covered operators. So based on these two concepts, I'll provide a quiz. So you guys can attempt to this. This is a quiz. I will share this document and I have given almost 30 questions in this document. And at the end of the document, I provided answers also, but don't see the answers directly. Just go through each and every question and try to do yourself. Okay, just read the question and just put all your answers, and after that at the end you can just compare with your answers with this. Okay, so this will give you a good knowledge which covers data types and also operators. So previous concept, yesterday concept, today's concept. So do one round of practice, then you will be familiar with this data types. Okay, so that's it. And also I'll share another document, so which is having all the operators, list of operators. I've given all the examples, so you can just go through this. So we have covered some programming fundamentals so far. So we have understood about the variables and data types and operators. So these are fundamentals of any programming language. Until unless you know these concepts, you can't understand the further concepts. So in the next classes, we will start with conditional statement, looping statement, arrays, string. So there are some more advanced concepts will come into picture. But to learn or understand all those concepts, first we need to be familiar with these things, like how we can define the variables, data types, all these things. Okay. So do one round of practice, go to the quiz, just attempt the quiz, and you will understand the better. So in the next class, we will continue.